The past few weeks have been very cold here in Canada. The only way out is to keep warm. On this day, I remembered I had these thermal leggings I bought some times ago. It was too small for me. If you look at the inside, it's very cozy, meaning it can keep you warm. I thought of what I could make out of these thermal leggings, and immediately an idea came in. Straight away, I went to my work table. I began to do all the necessary cuttings and I began to sew as well. You won't believe the winter accessories I made. The results will shock you. If this sounds like what you love, kindly watch this video to the end. If you are new to this channel, you are most welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, I do appreciate you. And if you are yet to subscribe, please do. So when I was done putting on all the winter accessories, I then went out to play with little snow. You know what? I felt very comfy and warm. You can see it's so like amazing. And the good thing about this is that you can't find it anywhere. So it's more like a customized winter accessories. So if you have any thermal leggings or thermal wear you don't use anymore, you can recycle them into winter accessories. Without saying too much, let's dive into the video. From what you can see, I have majorly my thermal leggings, then the ruler, measuring tape, pins, scissors, chalk. The first thing I did was to lay the leggings flat on the table. I grabbed my measuring tape and I took about 12 inches downwards. The waist measurement was about 11 inches thereabout, and because it's a stretchy fabric, I was totally okay with the measurement. So when I was done marking the 12 inches length, I just drew a straight line, then I cut it out. So what I went ahead to do was to fold it into two so I could transfer my measurement easily. I marked about 3 inches from that folded part, and that's where I'll be taking my dart from. I also came down by about 3 inches. 3.5 inches is fine, 4 inches is fine. The truth is, the more you pleat that part, the slimmer it becomes in that upper area. Hope you understand. So what I was trying to do here was just to create that on the two sides of the um head warmer. I'll call it head warmer because that's actually what I wanted to create. So when I was done marking all those parts, I started sewing the dart. But when I did it, I wasn't satisfied with the way it was looking. It was still looking very bogus. So I took it back to the sewing machine to add like extra two darts. Okay. So one thing about this DIY is that it depends on your choice, depends on your taste. If you are satisfied with the outcome, then it's totally fine. If not, you can just still work on it. There's no definite measurement, there's no definite pattern. So when I was done creating all the darts, I closed the upper part, more like closing the big opening. And this is me just flipping it to the right side. Guess what, guys? The head warmer is ready. I also went ahead to remove the label, but if you want to keep yours, it's totally fine. So this is just a very cozy head warmer that I rock during this period. You can't have too much of winter accessories. So when I was done making this, I proceeded to the hand gloves. You see, this hand glove is what I'm still rocking till date. It is also very cozy. It really keeps my hand warm. What I did was just to open up that part that way, and it's more like eye judgment again. I cut out a portion that I know will be enough for me to make my gloves. You know, when making gloves, you will be needing 4 pieces. So this is me just placing my palm on the stretchy fabric that way for me to know if it will be enough for me to make the gloves. Okay, so I'm just trying to cut another part so that will make a pair. Okay, so I may not really be showing you how I made the second glove because yeah, what you do for the first glove is what you will do for the second glove. So I'll also be opening this other part like this, and I'll be placing the two right sides together. That's also another thing you should be conscious of. If you place one right side and one wrong side together, it's going to give you a different result. So I was also conscious of that. I went ahead to pin the two fabrics together. I placed my palm on top of the fabrics this way, and I'll just be, marking out my palm measurements. I don't know if that makes sense, but I didn't just mark my original measurements. I added like half an inch. Quarter of an inch will also be fine because it's a stretchy fabric. So the extra allowance I added is for the sewing. Yeah, it's for the sewing. And here is me just cutting out, the part I marked out. This is how this looks for now. I went ahead to repeat the same process for the other glove, but this time around I didn't just mark out my palm measurement. Rather, I just placed my previous cutout on the stretchy fabric, then I cut out. It's easier that way. As you can see, I have two pairs of unsewn glove. Yeah, because it's not ready yet. So what I did was just to pin it down. In fact, I use many pins here because this part of this DIY is kind of technical. If you miss it, then it may not look good at the end. When I was done doing all the cuttings, I proceeded to the stitching. Remember, I added about half an inch while I was cutting out, so I sew at half an inch. If you added like quarter of an inch, you also sew at quarter of an inch. After sewing, I then notched because if you don't notch it, it won't relax. So when I did all those things, I realized that I needed to attach my elastic so that it will have better grip on my wrist. So what I did was to create an elastic channel as you see me do. So when I was done creating the elastic channel, I grabbed my safety pin. I started passing my elastic through the channel I created. Some people call it casing. You understand? So you can do whatever works best for you. Some people make use of a long object, some make use of needle, but I just used my safety pin. I just, stitch the two ends of the elastic with my hand needle and thread. Although you can also make use of your sewing machine. So after joining the two ends of the elastic, I also went ahead to close the opening of the elastic casing. Just know that what I did for one was what I did for the other glove, and as you can see, my gloves are ready. So let's go to the last but not the least winter accessory I made. So you can see I still had little leftover, and I felt I could make earmuffs with the leftovers. So again, I got my Alice band, and what I did was to fold the fabric into two because just the way I did the hand gloves, I'll be having like two pairs. So I folded into two, and I created that curve shape or the round shape. But at this point, you can even be more creative. You can even cut out like heart shape, you understand? But I just did the conventional shape that we know, okay? So I was just trying to sharpen it the more. And when I was done with what I cut out, I just placed it on the other fabric to cut out the second part of the earmuffs. So here, really need to see what I did here. I flipped it to the right side, if I'm not mistaken, and I just marked like the midpoint. That is where the end of the Alice band will be, and I also determined how deep it will be. Why I say the right side is that the wrong side is the cozy part, and I wanted the wrong side to be the part that will be exposed. So this is the right side now, the smooth part. I just marked the depth of the Alice band and also the width, okay? So I repeated the same process like that. When I was done, I just sew it round, and of course I'll be leaving a small opening for the turning. Okay, yeah. So I just sew it round. I left about 1.5 inches for turning. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah, I believe so. I then went straight to my sewing machine to sew all the way to that opened part, because from there too I'll also be stuffing in my fiber. Yeah, so there must be an opening. I have my fiber here. You can get this in the market where they sell fascinator stuffs. And again, furniture makers also make use of this fiber. In case you're looking for where to get it, you can approach any of them to ask where they get them to buy. So this is me just stuffing in the fiber into what I have created, because I don't know the name to give to it. So I was stuffing and stuffing, and now this depends on what you want. Some people really like it bogus, some like it just normal like me. If you want it smaller, fine. So with my eyes again, all these things are more like eye judgment. So when I put enough stuffings, some call it stuffings, some call it fiber. So when I put enough, I just use my hand needle and thread to close the opening. See, there's a way you can neatly close this opening. You will just fold in the raw edges, okay, and stitch it down. That way it will appear neat. So what I did here was the same thing I did for the other parts. Guys, remember that part I stitched for the Alice band? I'll just be creating an opening there because that's where I'll be passing the Alice band through. Yeah, so I'm also doing it for the other side. Okay, but before I start applying my hot glue, I'll first of all put in my Alice band to see if it will come out nice and to see if it is deep enough. Okay, so when I put the first one, I saw that it was okay. I also tried the other one. I also still saw that it was okay. When you're working with hot glue, you need to work fast, especially when you are staying in a cold region. So that was exactly what I was trying to do here. I quickly applied the hot glue and inserted it into the muffs. I did the same thing for the other side. Guess what, guys? This is also ready. So I was able to get 3 winter accessories from one thermal leggings. So if you have that thermal leggings you are not wearing again, it's time for you to convert it into something nice like this. Guys, let me just display everything for you. That's the earmuffs, the head warmer, and the gloves. So guys, let me rock it a little for you people to see. I believe this video has been helpful. If you did enjoy it, kindly give it a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe, please do. Don't also forget to like, comment, and share this video. See you all in my next video. Bye.